Hey there, this is David from Website Planet. In this video, we are going to be diving deep into how to refine your vibe-coded website with the agent. If you want the complete step-by-step guide that covers everything for vibe coding a website, check out the full resource in the link down below. For now, let's get started. So here we are on my vibe coded website. I really love the way it is coming out, and if I take a look at the full preview, it looks really nice, but there are a few things I want to change. First, I need to replace this image here because it is not loading. Then from there, I do want to replace this image with a more relevant brand image that I have. And I also want to play with the text a little bit. I wonder if all caps would actually look better here. Now, back in Replit, there are a few things I like to consider anytime I am debugging or optimizing my website. First, I always want to start with a new chat. This will create clear checkpoints for me, and in case I need to revert to an older version of the site, I easily can do that. Next, if I do run into any type of issue while I'm working through this process, I love to go to the assistant, and so I'll click this plus sign here, type in assistant, and just like that, have the assistant on the right hand side of the screen where I can chat with it in case I am not debugging or finding the right way to optimize my site to get the exact look and feel that I want. So we'll leave this open in the background, but for now I'll go back to preview. With those two things in mind, we can start to refine our site. Now let's begin by replacing Sarah's image for this testimonial with a real image. And the first thing I'll do is go down here to this button where it says build, and I'll click on that and click edit. Then from there, I will select the specific element that I want to edit. And as you can see here, because it is already an image, I'll click upload image, and then I will select this image here and click upload. Okay, this is a great example of issues that can come up with vibe coding. So a moment ago, I uploaded that image and it looked like it worked, but now the image is gone, and actually Mike's image is gone as well. So we do want to troubleshoot this. What I will test first is go back to the build option here, and then I will let it know what is going on while uploading two images to replace both of those. Great, so I wrote this. Looks like the homepage testimonial images are not showing up on the live site. Can you make sure Sarah and Mike's images are showing up with the images I've provided? I also just added a note, also double check that anywhere we have these testimonials across the entire site that they are showing up. Let's send this and see what it does. Now, the agent is still working, but thankfully that solution worked. In this case, if the solution did not work and I saw the issue persisting, what I would do at this point is then go to the assistant and ask, hey, I want to replace the image here, but it's not working. Can you help me understand why? And then I would have a conversation with the assistant. I would not prompt the assistant to make any update or change to the website, but I would ask the assistant, hey, what do you think could be the issue here, and see what it provides. Then from there, I take whatever kind of conversation I've had there, whatever I've learned, then take that back to the agent to help me troubleshoot it further and debug it so I can get exactly what I want. Now that that is working, let's replace this image here, and I'm going to go back to edit and then click on this image and then upload the file that I want to add, which will be this image here. And I love that the orange is a part of it, so this is great. I'll hit save change. Great, now it has made that update and it is working well. This again is where I would recommend going back to doing two key steps, which would be starting a new chat. And if you really are satisfied with the site, you've done the test of any of the updates you've done, one thing I would also recommend doing every few intervals would be going to click republish and publishing the latest version of the site that you are satisfied with. Now, if you do have a lot of sections, pages, and content, you will want to double check all of it to make sure it's all working as it should before you do that. But if you feel good about it and you're ready to go, you'll hit republish, which I'll do now before I make any further changes. Now that the republishing is done and I have started this new chat, I'm going to go down here and click edit because we are going to work on the heading styling and a few things I want to play around with here to see what I like. Now, first and foremost, I did ask it to make all the headings italics, and I like it, but I do want to change two things here. I want to make everything uppercase, and I also want to potentially move the letter spacing in a little bit closer. So I'm going to select on this element for the text, and what I notice is the two changes I want to do are not showing up as options here that are available. So to make all of this, to transform it to all be uppercase, and then to reduce the letter spacing a little bit is not here. Now, once I have this element selected, I will just type in the edits I want. And one key note, because I want this across the whole site, I will tell it to do it across all instances of this showing up. Now, this is what I have written. Across all heading instances, I want to make two changes. This even includes the logo in the navigation. The two changes are, please transform all letters to be uppercase, and the second is please reduce letter spacing to a value of negative 0.02 em. Now, I do know some of this is web developer talk and it has an understanding of code, but what I would recommend is going to the assistant and saying, hey, I want to edit the header to have less spacing between the letters. How do I prompt the agent to do that? And let's see what it says. Now, as you can see here, it read a few of the files on the site and then it gave me some options. And it looks like these options are even more conversational than what I put in. So you can see here, reduce the letter spacing in the main headline on the homepage. So all you would need to do is probably add something like this, reduce the letter spacing. That would probably do it. I've added a little bit more from reduce the letter spacing to an actual value that I want. But in most cases, you don't even need to do that. You can just have a conversation and let it know the direction it should go. And now that I have submitted this, it is starting to do all the work, which I actually love this. It is searching for all heading elements, H1 through H6, and now it is starting to make the changes we are asking for. Now, it is still working, but I love the way this is turning out. It is already looking a lot better. Thrive Performance looks really nice. Transform Your Body, Thrive in Life looks great. And then the headings throughout the site look really nice as well. You can see here, real people, real results. I love how it's italics, and I could further customize it to my liking. Great, that task is done, and it is giving me an overview of what it did. It went in and modified the code here for the two things we asked for, as well as updated all the text covering all pages, the homepage, about page, service, contact. Then it tested it, made sure it was correct, and that took about 8 minutes and $1.65. And you could continue with this process to make any updates to your site. Now, this video is just scratching the surface. Our complete vibe coding guide walks you through everything from your very first prompt all the way to deploying a fully professional site. We cover all the essentials like prompting strategies, troubleshooting tips, advanced customizations, and domain setup. You can access the full guide by using that first link down in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.